compact SUV segment has been growing rapidly in the Indian market, and Renault has just introduced their latest offering, which is this. Hi guys, welcome to Drive Spark. I'm Promeet, and today we are in Goa testing the all-new Renault Kaiga. So stay tuned as we tell you everything you need to know about this compact SUV. So now let's talk about the front end of the vehicle, and over here on top what you see is the DRL that is LED, and it is pretty bright. Right underneath the DRL is the indicator that features a halogen bulb, and over here what you see is the headlight cluster. Now over here you get 3 pods. Now 2 are for the low beam and 1 is for the high beam, and it is all LED and it is extremely bright. You also got a lot of chrome garnishing in the front on the grille. You got a huge Renault logo. If you see on the hood, you get deep creases, and you get deep lines and creases on the bonnet that make the car look much more muscular. And one more thing, that lip that you see on the front, that adds on to the sportiness of the compact SUV. So now coming to the side profile of the vehicle, the first thing that you'll notice that it has a lot of ground clearance. Actually it does, because it has 205 mm ground clearance. That is enough to go over to all the bad roads that a city has to offer. And over here if you see, you get the RXZ badging. So the RXZ, this is the top of the line manual variant, and you also get these beautiful 16-inch alloy wheels that are dual tone and multi-spoke, and they are wrapped in CH Secure Drive tires. The tire profile is 195/60 R16, and they provide very decent amount of grip. It's not very good, but yeah, the car definitely stops because it is a light car. It definitely stops. And yeah, over here you also get this ORVM that's finished in black. You get an integrated indicator over here. The color that you see is the Caspian blue, and this car is finished in a dual tone, so you get the roof, the pillars and all in black, and the contrast is absolutely amazing. You also get this black cladding all over that makes the compact SUV look much more muscular and slightly bigger from the side also. Overall guys, if you see the car, it definitely looks stunning, especially in this paint. I really like it, the Caspian blue. And you also have functional roof rails and a shark fin antenna at the back. So now let's talk about the rear profile of the car, and the very first thing you'll notice is the Kaiga badging that's written bold right in the center. You also get the Renault badging over here, and since this is powered by a turbo petrol engine, you get the turbo badging over there. Now these tail lights look damn fancy. They are kind of smoked out. I personally like them because they are not very reflective, and it goes well with the overall sportiness of the car. It makes the car look much more sportier from the rear. Talking about sportiness, you also get a spoiler on the top. Now this it's not an active spoiler, or it's not a spoiler, but it's something that looks very fancy and it definitely looks cool. You also get an LED light over here for the brake light. You also get a washer along with a wiper and defoggers, and right in the center of the Renault logo you get the reverse parking camera along with parking sensors. Now they do not feature active guidelines, but yeah, the camera is pretty clear and the sensors are pretty accurate. It helps you to park in tight spaces easily. Now let's talk about the boot. So to open the boot, you just have to press this button. The boot will open and you have 405 liters of boot space. You also get a 60-40 split just in case if you need more space for luggage. You can fold on any part depending on how much luggage you want to put, and you'll have more room for luggage. Now the boot lid is not that light, but it's not that heavy also. It shouldn't be a problem closing it. So overall guys, yeah, the Kaiga definitely looks good from the rear, especially because of the smoked out tail lights. So now we are at the front seat, and over here when you enter the cabin is really spacious. It is a big cabin. There's a lot of hard plastic all over. There's some amount of soft plastic on the door panels though, and you have the ORVM and the window controls over here. There is some silver accents with some blacked out accent on the door handles. You also get an 8-speaker setup where you have 2 tweeters right in the front, 4 components and 2 tweeters at the back. Now speaking about the infotainment system over here, you get an 8-inch infotainment system that features Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, and the touch is pretty responsive. You also get a fully digital instrument cluster. That's a 7-inch TFT screen that gives you a lot of information, and that also changes while you change the mode. So if you're in Eco, it'll turn into green. If you're at normal, it'll be blue, and if you're in sports, it'll turn red, and that looks extremely fantastic. Now the AC vents over here, you get clean air written. I don't know why, but you have clean air written, and the AC vents are like finished off in a brushed silver finish that makes the interiors actually look good. It's kind of a dual tone finish that they have given. You have your climate control right below the infotainment system, and they have the digital readouts that look really awesome. You have a start stop button over here, you have the USB cable, you also get a wireless charging feature over here that has a button. You can set it on and off, it won't stay on continuously. And last but not least, the steering wheel. So the steering wheel is it's got a very good grip to it, and it's got this leather stitching on top. Rest of it, there is no leather, it's just on top. And over here it's a slightly flat bottom steering wheel that when you are holding it, actually the grip level is really nice. So you have the steering mounted controls placed exactly where you want them. The right hand side controls the instrument cluster, and the left hand side controls the infotainment system, keeping the driver focused on the road. Now let's go back and I'll tell you more about the rear seat. So now we have the rear seat, and this seat is adjusted according to my height. I'm 6 feet 2 inches, and you can see that I have pretty decent amount of knee room. Actually, it's a lot of knee room. I am a tall person, so my knees are not brushing. I'm sitting very comfortably. There is ample amount of headroom over here. So yeah, it is a very spacious car. 5 tall passengers can easily, including the driver, 4 other tall people can sit very easily. If the driver is also tall, that's not a problem. You can comfortably, 5 people can go in this car on long journeys. It's just that the seat, this seat has a very good back support. It just lacks on the under thigh support that is there. That should have been there, I feel so. But yeah, overall there are AC vents over here. That cools down the cabin really fast. There's a charging socket down over here, and there is an armrest that has a mobile holder and 2 cup holders in it. So if you're 4 people going, you can just deploy it, and yeah, you'll be comfortable. Once again, as I said earlier, that it definitely needs a sunroof, because yeah, it's a big car and a sunroof would definitely look good on it. So now we have the driving seat of the all-new Renault Kiger, and first things first, let me give you a quick engine brief. So this is powered by a 1-liter turbocharged petrol engine that pumps out 99 bhp of power and 160 Nm of peak torque, and it is mated to a 5-speed manual gearbox, and this is also available in a CVT. But in that the torque is slightly less. It's around 152 Nm. But yeah, that's the overall specs of the engine. The engine is pretty nice. It's a 3-cylinder engine, and yeah, it's a very fuel efficient engine. We could not test the fuel efficiency because we have the car for a very short period of time. So let's start talking about the suspension. So the suspension on the Kiger is somewhat in between. It's a mix and match of soft and hard. It's somewhere in between because I guess company wanted people to enjoy the best of both worlds. So yes, it is definitely, it is not very good because it's on the softer side, so that you can have that comfortable ride. At the same time, if you want to corner this car, it obviously has some amount of body roll, because yes, it is a compact SUV, it is a big car, so it has some amount of body roll. Other than that, the suspension setup, I really liked it because it is just awesome. It can tackle through bad roads. On easy roads like right now, smooth roads, you actually can't feel anything because the suspension setup is brilliant. No bumps. It will take away all the bumps and potholes that the city has to offer. And yeah, so now let's talk about the drive modes that this car has. So this car has 3 driving modes. It has Eco, it has Normal, and it has Sport. So according to the mode, the throttle response and the steering wheel also stiffens up, or it becomes light or it becomes heavy. So once you are in Eco mode, the throttle response absolutely drops. It's just very laggy. But once you are in Sport mode, the steering wheel stiffens up, and the throttle response also increases. The best part is to drive it on the normal mode. And while you're doing all of this, while you're selecting modes, the instrument cluster also, the display changes. On Eco it's green, on normal it's blue, and on Sport it's red. Seats are also nice. Seats are damn comfortable. The driver's side has a seat height adjuster, and only the driver's side has, and the steering wheel can be adjusted only for tilt. There is no telescopic adjustment for the steering wheel. But yeah, overall, it's a very decent car. It's a feature loaded car. You have everything. It rides smooth. I mean, we'll be getting this car for a longer duration, and at that time, we will be telling you how it performs as not as a long termer, but yeah, we'll be getting it for like a week. So we'll be driving on this in the city and on the highway. So we'll be telling you about how it performs in the city, what's the mileage like. So it's a 1 liter turbocharged engine. It is supposed to give good mileage. I mean, this car picks up speed pretty quickly. You can reach the triple digit mark easily, and yeah, it can easily pull up to like 180, 200 if you want to, because yeah, I mean, it's a pretty stable car. And NVH levels could have been better. Actually, NVH and insulation level both could have been better. So there is some amount of noise creeping inside the cabin post. I mean, say 3,500, 4,000 RPM, or when you're close to the red line. There is a slight amount of lag in the throttle. I mean, because of the turbo, there's a slight amount of lag. But yeah, the sport mode definitely helps it in. Another thing that I noticed is that the gearbox, once the car is standing like it's idling, and you just press the clutch and you just shift. So once it's idling, there is no problem in shifting. But once the car is on the move, then it feels like it is like getting stuck somewhere. I mean, the shifts are not as smooth as what you would expect. Otherwise, guys, overall, it's a very nice car. I really like it. It drives well. The suspension setup is nice. The seats won't tire you out on a long drive. And yeah, of course, can't tell you a lot about the car right now because we have the car for a very short period of time. So yeah, the Kiger, big thumbs up from my end. It's a definitely, I mean, it is a game changer, and Renault has entered the compact SUV segment. So I think this will definitely kick off. So yeah guys, this was the all-new Renault Kiger, and the prices for this compact SUV starts at 5.45 lakh ex-showroom. And I hope I explained the car well to you. If you need to know anything else, please mention it down in the comment section and we will get back to you on that. Until then, if you've liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, share and subscribe to all our social media channels. I'm Pramit signing out. See you next time. Thank you so much for watching. Take care and be safe.